The Ultimatum, the Sultan Reply. According to Tunku Abdul Rahman, the basic principles within the Federation of Malaysia allowed for no special exception. All member states had equal duties, rights, and responsibilities to the central government as units of the Federation. If there was inequality of treatment among the member states, the proposed Federation of Malaysia would become a very strange federation. In practice, however, the central government did not deal equally with its member states, especially Sabah, Sarawak, and Singapore. On the matter of precedence, Ghazali Shafa said that the Sultan agreed to discuss his position later and suggested that the meeting should proceed with other important issues for Brunei. Even in Tun Abdul Razak's ultimatum, which was sent to Brunei on June 21, 1963, this issue was not mentioned. This may suggest that it had already been decided by the Conference of Rulers that the position of the Brunei Sultan would be last on the list. On June 21, a Malayan newspaper reported that the Brunei delegation was disappointed with the latest development and regarded the Tunku's press statement on the latest offer as closing all doors for further negotiations. This report was true because when the Sultan suggested some kind of loose federation to the Tunku, the latter had already indicated that the door was closed for Brunei to join Malaysia. This might be the reason why the Sultan was reluctant to accept the letter given to him by Tun Abdul Razak at the airport, because the Sultan considered that the meeting between the two governments had already ended. Furthermore, the Sultan had also ordered the members of the Brunei delegation not to accept Tun Abdul Razak's letter. The Sultan replied to the letter on June 29, 1963, saying that he could not accept the proposals of the Malayan government, even as a basis for further discussion. The Sultan might have accepted the proposals if they had conformed with the basic principles of Brunei's terms and accorded with the assurances which had been given to him regarding the special position of Brunei. This was indicated in his reply to Tun Abdul Razak, as he said, "My friend, thank you for your letter dated June 21, which I received in Brunei on June 23, 1963. The proposals contained in your above quoted letter are so incompatible with the basic principles set out in my official statement issued on the morning of June 21, 1963, that I regret to say that I find them unacceptable even as a basis for further negotiations." The 48-hour deadline given by the Tunku to the Sultan of Brunei became a front-page leader in the Malayan newspaper. It stated that whether or not the final offer was accepted by Brunei, the government of the Federation of Malaya would still stick to the decision to end all negotiations. It said that the final offer had been deliberated over for 3 hours and decided by the Malayan cabinet in the operations room of the Ministry of Rural Development, and was submitted to the Sultan of Brunei on the very next day. Nadzar Nang, a spokesman for the leader of the People's Party of Malaya, said that the 48-hour deadline given by the Tunku to the Sultan of Brunei to join Malaysia was an ultimatum unacceptable to Brunei as it ignored the wishes of its people. Meanwhile, Pengiran Dato Sensia Haji Muhammad Yusof made the following comments on the ultimatum. All the while Brunei had shown great interest in joining Malaysia. Not only were we willing to shuttle to and from Kuala Lumpur, but even our Sultan also readily made himself available to come to Kuala Lumpur so that negotiation could be concluded smoothly. However, if Malaya does not wish to accept us, what can we do? Brunei had never shown itself as desiring to withdraw from the proposal to merge with the Federation of Malaysia. Evidently, neither side wanted to lose. The Malayan government felt that the Brunei side should agree with its proposals if they were genuinely interested in joining Malaysia. On the other hand, the Brunei side thought they had the right to set terms that were acceptable to the Sultan and the government. Informally, the Sultan's decision on the Malayan ultimatum, that Brunei would not join the Federation of Malaysia, was final.